CVM TV.
What a gun! That a gun! Cross!
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
Tonight in CVM News, ice cream vendor dies following car crash downtown Kingston. Former ward of the state seeks help with the law school tuition. For Farming Forward, prominent Jamaican animal feed and nutrition company moving apace with project to help small poultry farmers rebuild from Melissa. Share your heart through art. And internationally, growing violence in Nigeria forces schools to close, fueling nationwide education crisis. That, along with sports, where West Indies reach Super 8 round coming up. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Sunday, February 15, 2026. I'm Caroline Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. A popular ice cream vendor was killed late Saturday night when he was struck by a vehicle, or she was struck by a vehicle that veered off King Street in downtown Kingston following a collision. Now the victim, a resident of Fletcher's Land, identified as Tamara Manning, was sitting outside her shop. She was pronounced dead after being rushed to hospital. Organizers announced the 2026 staging of the Sagicor Sigma corporate run raised over 152 million Jamaican dollars, exceeding its ambitious $150 million target of the event under the theme Run for the West. President and CEO of Sagicor Group, Christopher Zaka, says the annual charity road race will direct the funds toward repairing damaged schools in Western Jamaica. Zaka adds it marks another historic milestone in community support and national unity.
Target was $150 million. And a couple of days ago we posted that we were this close. This close. All of you, you're going to help to stop the children from crying in the West.
Opposition Senator Cleveland Tomlinson is calling for better protection of the financial data of Jamaicans. He's also calling for greater accountability while criticizing government oversight committee, or made that criticizing government's oversight. Crystal Williams reports.
An opposition senator continues to voice his concerns relating to aspects of the Financial Investigation Division Amendment Act of 2026, which governs the information shared with the Financial Investigation Division (FID) and the Financial Intelligence Unit (FIU). According to opposition Senator Cleveland Tomlinson, what constitutes as relevant should be subjected to objective tests provided within the legislation, rather than assumption.
The use of the term relevant, I thought, was too broad in how it's included in the bill and could lend itself to potential overreach or abuse. I thought that how the term relevant is included in the bill, which was also in the Principal Act. But I thought that given that we're amending the Act, we could use the opportunity to refine all the provisions in the bill, in the legislation. So I thought I raised the point that in essence there could be potential overreach with a broad definition being applied to the term relevant.
The bill currently allows for the FID to share and receive intelligence with local public bodies that are relevant to the investigation or prosecution of a financial crime. According to the amendment, relevance is born out of reasonable suspicion that someone has committed a crime, is committing one, or is about to commit one, and the information that is being received or shared by the FID directly relates to that crime. However, Senator Tomlinson says the proposed amendment might limit how broadly the interpretation of what is relevant is applied.
The point I'm raising, we have seen a precedent in other jurisdictions, and I'm saying that we should limit or remove the potential of that here with the term relevant in how it's included in the bill.
According to the senator, this was on the list of amendments that were rejected by the government. This has inspired him to call for adequate safeguards to protect Jamaicans and their data. Notwithstanding the desire to combat financial crimes, Senator Tomlinson says accountability must be a key factor in law design.
When we are designing laws, good lawmaking and for the purposes of good governance, it requires that we never presume that the actor who will carry out the functions of law will always act in an upright manner. We have to make provisions for things being inconsistent with what we consider as lawmakers to be good, decent and proper.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Innovation is meeting conservation in a new effort to protect Jamaica's fragile coral reefs. A partnership between Portland's Alligator Head Foundation and international artists is using underwater sound technology to help revive damaged marine habitats. Kevin Black explains.
Sound is becoming an unlikely but promising tool in the fight to save Jamaica's coral reefs. Through a collaboration between artists and marine conservationists, underwater soundscapes are being introduced to degraded reef areas to encourage marine life to return. According to artist in residency from TBA 21 Academy, Marco Bogotti, the technique relies on the sounds of healthy, living reefs to help restore damaged marine ecosystems.
Acoustic enrichment is a marine conservation technique that uses the sound of healthy reefs to restore damaged ecosystem. If a reef is alive with sound, is most likely to stay alive. But when reefs degrade, they grow silent. So fish and coral larvae, they actually use sound to navigate and to locate suitable habitats to shelter, to settle, and grow.
The initiative forms part of an international art and science project combining research, technology, and creative design. Ceramic sculptures made from calcium carbonate, the same material found in coral, will be deployed underwater to provide shelter for marine life while broadcasting reef sounds. The system will be powered by a floating solar energy buoy connected to an underwater sound device.
So what you see in the back is the sculptures that we will deploy. They are made from ceramic and calcium carbonate. There is a floating solar station, which is a buoy which converts sunlight into electricity, and it powers the sound system, the underwater sound system.
Coral reefs support marine life and protect coastlines, but they remain under threat. Researchers hope this approach can help speed up reef recovery in Jamaica.
What we have been doing in the last days is recording the soundscape of healthy reefs in multiple locations here at Alligator Head Foundation. And then what we will do, we'll create a long soundscape of 12 hours or 24 hours that will be then broadcast for 2-3 months, starting at the end of March in 2026.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Now, over the coming weeks, the KSAMC will be utilizing up to 20 million Jamaican dollars from the parochial revenue funds channeled through the Divisional Allocation Fund for road rehabilitation across the municipality. Head of the Municipal Corporation, Mayor Andrew Swaby, says all 40 divisions will see essential road works in their communities as a direct response to repeated concerns about potholes, damaged surfaces, and poor road conditions. However, the mayor points out the amount is insufficient to address all the parochial routes under the care of the corporation.
We wish we had additional resources as more funding would allow us to make a significantly greater impact on road conditions throughout Kingston and St. Andrew. Nonetheless, the KSAMC has to ensure that we conform to strict procurement guidelines to ensure compliance as well as the best value for money.
Mayor Swaby is urging business operators to pay for their signs and billboards before the March deadline, emphasizing the importance of complying with municipal regulations to avoid penalties and ensure the city's streetscape is properly maintained. Up to the second month of the signage regulation campaign being carried out by the KSAMC, 98 businesses have been invoiced, including JCC and the SBAJ, in order to strengthen campaign strategy across the municipality. Quarterly meetings with outdoor advertising companies have also been finalized. The mayor reports there have been incidents, regrettably, where officers have been met with resistance and disrespect while executing their duties.
The corporation has expanded its communication efforts beyond its customer channels, including radio outreach, despite the absence of a dedicated paid advertising budget. I wish to remind all stakeholders that these officers are acting in good faith and in the public interest. And I urge all parties to extend the necessary cooperation and respect throughout the process.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for St. James Southern Nikisha Burchell and Minister with responsibility for Works Robert Morgan have joined forces to address the water lockoffs in Montpelier. The road rehabilitation and water project, built to the tune of $700 million, is a collaborative effort between the National Works Agency and the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. We hear now from a final year law student, a former ward of the state, whose academic strides saw one charity investing $500,000 towards her tuition. However, despite their input and her gratitude, there's an appeal for another $1 million to plug her tuition. That's her tuition gap. Nika Lewis reports.
This handover is the fulfillment of a promise made to a 10-year-old ward of the state whose boldness and brilliance shone brightly from the start. She wanted to become a lawyer and took steps to overcome obstacles to this point.
When we met Vanessa, she said that she wanted to be an attorney. And we said, you know what? You're great and you're going to be an attorney. And said, if you ever meet in any difficulties, we gave her email address and a contact number. And she contacted us saying that no, that she was in some difficulty and about to be deregistered. And so we stepped in to provide her with a bursa of $500,000, which $1 million is left. But I know Corporate Jamaica, I'm appealing whatever you can give to help her in aid of her education. And she has shown consistency right from age 10 when we first met her. Sure. And so this is a feel-good story.
I went to Camperdown High School. My grades in CSEC. I currently have 22 subjects. That includes CSEC and CAPE. I got grades 1s and 2s in CSEC. And I did 10 CSEC and, as you know, 5 CAPE for each unit. So that's Unit 1, 5 CAPE subjects, Unit 2, 5 CAPE subjects. All of those were grades 1s and 2s. So.
Right from the start, acknowledges that education would be her gateway out of poverty. She beams with gratitude for the help so far and what's likely to come.
I feel very grateful. I feel, words really can't describe, this has been a dream of mine ever since I was possibly 10, to become a lawyer. And I am in my 3rd year at law at University of the West Indies. So, each time I get closer to that dream, it feels good. It feels good to have this support. It feels good to, be the recipient of this. It shows that my hard work isn't just for nothing.
She's almost there and remains an advocate, volunteering at the Maxfield Park Children's Home, where she grew and nurtured her passions. She's not only seeking help for herself, but makes a general call to those who have.
I will call on organizations too to help these persons when they reach out. International, regional, corporate, like we call on you to help children of the state care, and not just children of the state care, but people who are in need, people who you see have that potential and can possibly be something.
Nika Lewis, CVM News.
More CVM News in a moment. Do stay with us.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Small poultry farmers unable to move out of the red since losing their investment to Hurricane Melissa continue to fall in line to build from a startup project. It's more than just material, however, as there's expertise advised in the mix to ensure the process focuses on sustainability and growth. CVM's Farming Forward has been on a few site visits.
Farming Forward is brought to you by Nutrimix.
Jasmine Hansen has made it safely home from another long, early day on the job. She trades stockings and dress to step easy into another nurturing role, one she worked her way into years ago. So you left home this morning as a
teacher.
And you came home as a
farmer.
Poultry farmer. Coop, 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 coop. Come. No man, no go. If ever chickens were afforded the bragging rights before they get to the food chain, especially based on the fact that so many poultry farmers lost thousands of dollars because of Hurricane Melissa, then they are at their peak. And you know what? The big feed company continues to roll out plans to help them with Farming Forward. Now, having won the trust and respect of farmers for decades, a chicken coop starter program is a big boost towards rebounding from a wipeout.
It's really just to give them the basics to restart. I mean, we won't have everything to give them, but at least we have something to give back and to help them to start. I mean, CB has always been about the culture of people, and people are the backbone of everything that we do. So we really want to give back and see how best we can help out.
The target,
100 poultry farmers.
We did have an online application and we had over 1,000 applicants. So there is a need for it and we're trying our best to see how well we can fit that need. I mean, of course, we encourage other sponsors or angel investors to come on board and just to help our farmers to really rebuild our nation and build back their lives.
It's been difficult for couples like the Monteiths in Kilmarnock, St. Elizabeth, to move forward alone.
Doing farming for roughly pretty near 50 years. And we are together, married together pretty near 40 years. And she used to do layers until Melissa come around and destroy all the coop completely.
I don't have a income right now. I have to rely on my husband, which we are pretty independent of each other financially. Yes.
I mean, like that story there.
Yes.
Independent. So she was doing chickens.
Yes.
What were you doing?
Well, I do the farm. I do like yam, potato, vegetables, and I rear animals. And through that enable us to rear 4 children. All have gone through tertiary, 1 leave in university.
Literally around the corner and geographically, we are in the Westmoreland side of Kilmarnock, where the Whites, they both till the soil. They have animals like this pig, spared for Christmas by the very system that took all their layers and broilers.
I feel overjoyed and giving God thanks that Nutramix, because everything that I raise is Nutramix feed and I use. Everything completely is Nutramix. So I'm grateful to God that Nutramix do step in.
There was a time when chickens roamed freely in Jamaica without confinement. But then, farmers got creative and so they used just about anything that could make a structure. That became a coop. Look around us now. You can see pieces of wood and yes, the good old mesh.
Which leads us back to Horton, St. Elizabeth, to Hanson's Farms in the making, boasting one of the model coops.
From a technological perspective, it is still the standard way of farming, but it is also the infrastructure is important. So what we're providing here is allowing for them to be able to get sustainable means of income through a sturdier structure, and it is also just replacing what was lost. So we're getting them new sheets of roofing or metal roofing, we're getting them the chicken wire, treated lumber, and then for this particular area we're also working on the level of the space and also ensuring that it is a good foundation to build from.
This is Farming Forward.
Farming Forward is brought to you by Nutramix.
We now turn to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In St. Lucia, a worsening water shortage is affecting homes, businesses and schools as officials warn of a potentially severe dry season and urge conservation efforts. DBS TV has the details.
Residents, businesses and the schools showed stored buckets lined neatly along verandas and pointed to pipes that have delivered more air than water. Though many declined on camera interviews, their concerns are well known. Schools have been among the hardest hit. Several learning institutions were forced to close their doors Friday as the shortage deepened, citing sanitation standards and the safety of students. Sister Elizabeth Japanel, principal of the St. Aloysius RC Boys Primary School, explained that closures in the education district were made with students' well-being at the forefront.
So what we realize is with a large school population, almost 300 boys here, having to use water throughout the day, that has put a lot of pressure on the supply that we have here. So a decision was taken earlier today to not have school for some of the schools here in District 3. But you could well imagine, like I said, with issues of sanitation and so on, if a decision is taken to close the school, that is done in the interest of the students' safety.
Sister Japanel noted that even one day without adequate water can disrupt studies and compromise school operations.
Any time that the students spend away from instruction, it's time loss, and we are at a critical juncture. This is the second term.
And on the international scene, spiraling violence is reshaping the daily life of citizens across Nigeria and parts of the Sahel, as hundreds of people have been killed in recent weeks, and the schools are once again being forced shut. Al Jazeera tells us more.
This school sits in one of Nigeria's high-risk areas. It has no perimeter fence, no security guards, no early warning systems, and for now, no classes. Najatu Saidu is meant to be preparing for her secondary school certificate exams in a few months' time. Instead, her school, like many others across northern Nigeria, has been shut after repeated attacks by gunmen. Her father worries that her future is slipping away.
I am deeply concerned about her education. Even educated women struggle in life. Without education, her future will be very difficult.
Millions of children across Nigeria now share that uncertainty. Their education either paused or permanently cut short as authorities struggle to guarantee safety in classrooms.
14 years after Nigeria launched the Safe School initiative, many are still dangerously exposed. Mass abductions have become routine. And as violence spread across Nigeria and much of the wider Sahel, rural schools like this remain on the front line.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Kevin Black.
We'll continue with Inspire Jamaica right after this.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So
In keeping with cardiac awareness observations during this month of February and a Share Your Heart exhibition probably now wrapped up in London considering the time difference, CVM News joins in highlighting heartfelt messages. Now, the one we're going to share with you could probably have been shown today at the annual exhibition.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Children are not afraid to speak from the heart, even though sometimes their words cut deep. From a hospital bed after undergoing a very complex surgical procedure on her heart, lasting up to midnight, this little girl's artwork grabbed our attention. She is Michaela Francis. And as this colorful heart took shape, we became more curious.
Tell me what your artwork is depicting.
It's like saying that bad people can be good people as well. It's just that they're shy to show it. Yeah, like that.
Okay. So you have a heart. Describe the heart also.
The other side is like basically happiness, peace, and you know, those kind of perfect families you would see on TV. And this side is like, you know, my life isn't going well and I just want to act bad and make people afraid of me because that's the only thing that makes me feel good. You know?
You to be afraid of you?
No, not me.
Oh.
I think you're the good side.
You're the good side.
Yeah.
So your heart was broken.
Yeah, it was.
What's happening now?
The heart, it's gonna turn back into the good side. It's just that.
Isn't that lovely?
I love
that message is
I'm
rich.
thinking she's so creative.
She is very creative. She is a creative.
Very.
And now I'm gonna write that. Bad people can be also good as well. You know.